Hey guys. Okay, hold on just a second. What's wrong? This is why you should go to school. You hear me? Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. So, I'm going to do my makeup and talk to you guys about life. So, I don't know if there's anybody here. Hey Bama, what's up, girl? What's up, girl? I don't feel good. I don't know if you guys have been able to tell, but my throat is all jacked up. So I've been having like a sore throat and a cough. It doesn't feel good. So I do not like the cold weather. In Arkansas, it doesn't really get that cold, you guys, but it does get down to like, well, just a couple, I think this morning it was like 27. And for us, that's like really cold because it doesn't normally get down that cold here. So we woke up this morning and Nate was complaining of having a sore throat. So we called the school and told him that he wasn't feeling good. And it comes to find out that his teacher was sick too. So they probably kind of got the same little bug. And you know, that just happens whenever, you know, you're going in and out from the cold to the hot, from the cold to the hot. So he's staying home today. And I don't know if I've told you guys this, but my husband had to go to overnights. So when he gets home, he sleeps till like noon or 2 because, well, he's working all night long, which totally sucks. It sucks because it makes all of our schedules like really weird and hard to follow. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult whenever you have someone who has to go overnight. You'll understand what I'm talking about, but it's not fun. So I just put that oil on, and now I'm going to put on this lotion, which is True Lumi L'Oreal Paris Lumi Lotion. How is everybody doing? I hope you guys are okay. I've been seeing some comments from some people that are struggling who are not sober yet, and so I wanted to talk with people who are not sober, who are struggling. So you guys who are out there who are still in active addiction, you're not alone. And I want you to know that although you're struggling right now, that you don't have to stay in it. That's the beauty of recovery, is that anytime you're ready, you can change. You can do something different. But you have to, what has to happen, you got to get rid of all those excuses, you know those excuses saying like, I'm scared to go to a detox because I'll lose my job. You know, those excuses that say, I'm scared to go to detox because I have a dog and nobody can take care of him. Like all those excuses, you guys, you got to get rid of that shit. Because here's the deal. You won't have your dog if you can't stay sober. You'll lose your job if you can't stay sober. Everything that you have that you're afraid you're going to lose if you go to detox, you'll end up losing it anyway. So, why not, get help? I did the same thing, so I'm not trying to make you feel bad or say anything that will hurt your feelings, because I made excuses for years. That's why I kept relapsing. Hey, Christy. Why are you scared, girl? You're doing good. You've been staying on the straight and narrow? 7th day, that's great. How are your cravings? You're doing great. You don't have anything to be afraid of, It's normal. It's normal, though, to feel fear. It's fear of the unknown. You've never been sober before, so this is all new to you. With the medication that you're taking, it'll help. Eventually, what's going to happen is it's going to balance out in your system, and those cravings will subside. Also, you got to think about it this way. A lot of that shit's just your thinking. So when those thoughts come in your mind about opiates or whatever your drug of choice is, you got to take that shit out of your mind, because all it is a thought. You don't have to act on those thoughts. And now that you're on the medically assisted treatment, that's going to help you, because you can't just go out and get high. Yeah, we all get afraid to fail. Afraid of relapsing. And that's a good fear. That's a healthy fear to have, okay? Because, well, here's the deal. If you're overly confident and you're like, oh, I'm never going to relapse. Who were overly confident and thought, I got this. And then what was really going on is they were scared and they projected it as overconfidence, So that fear of failure is normal. Fear of relapsing is normal, and it's a healthy fear to have. But it's a healthy fear to have as long as you don't let it prohibit you from staying on the right track. Do you know what I'm saying? Use that fear of relapsing to keep you from going out and relapsing. You dig? Do you know what I mean? I felt the same way, Christy. When I got out of rehab after being there for 30 days, I was really afraid. I looked back on my past behavior, and all my past had shown me is that I would get sober for a couple months and relapse, right? And so I was like, shit, what am I going to do? My son's in the custody of the state, and I have to stay sober or I'm going to lose my kid, right? And that's a big deal. It wasn't like I had jail time hanging over my head. It wasn't like I had, oh, you're going to lose your job. I had my child hanging over my head. And if you don't get your life together, you're going to lose your child. And so that fear of me failing, like I always had, is what prompted me to go get on medically assisted treatment, And now that I'm on it and I'm trying to get off, now that fear is cropping back up again, that fear of failure. But I know today, here's the deal, guys. I know today that if I practice the techniques that I've learned, and I practice being honest, not hiding, the way I'm feeling, and being like just transparent and just straight up, right? I know that as long as I practice those things, I'm going to stay sober, right? Okay. So I think what makes me afraid is what if I like, sometimes I know that practicing those things aren't always the easiest. Okay. It's not always easy to, be a good person straight up. It's not always easy. It's not always the most fun, but it's what I have to do to stay alive. And that's how I kind of have to look at it. Like, do I want to stay alive? Yeah. And then I have to look at it like this. Do I want to lose my son? You know, and so I'm just going to keep on pushing forward and practicing the things that I've learned, all those new coping skills, because that's what I have to do, even when I don't want to. So, you know, I was watching Just Try to Be Positive. That's right. So last night I was watching House on Haunted Hill, I think it's called. So good. If you're not watching it, you need to go watch it. It's so good. So I was watching that last night, and this girl on there says, recovery is doing the same thing over and over again in spite of the results. You know how they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results? Well, she said that recovery is that, only we do it in spite of the results. Like, even if I have a bad day, I still have to do my recovery. Even if I wake up and I'm sick, I still have to do my recovery. Even if I go into work and I have a fight with my boss, I still got to do my recovery. You feel me? So I really, like, I don't know, I've been listening to, you know, what people say, and that shit's true. Like, as long as I stay consistent, kind of like with a YouTube channel, if you stay consistent, upload consistently, people are going to come and find your channel, right? Well, it's the same way with recovery. If I'm consistent, I work hard on my recovery, I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to lose it. And my recovery is going to grow. So the more I practice these good practices in my life, the more I'm going to grow in a positive way, you know? And so I never could realize that before. And I want you guys to know, like, if you're new to my channel, like, let me just tell you a little bit about what I used to be like. I was a 15-year meth, opiate, crack, cocaine, weed, alcohol, addict, alcoholic, okay? I started shooting meth about 7 years into my addiction. So the first 7 years, I just snorted and smoked stuff. Then I crossed over this imaginary line into shooting, and then everything changed. So when I started shooting up, it was like another level. It was like, I don't know if you guys, for those of you who have used a needle before, you'll understand what I'm saying. It's like when you go from just like snorting drugs to shooting drugs, it's a huge crossover, okay? It's almost an addiction in itself, right? The needle. So once that started happening, I was like no turning back, okay? And so for me to go from that to where I am today is nothing short of a miracle, you guys. A miracle, because I was a mess. I was a mess. I couldn't function without drugs and alcohol, and now I can. And so that's fucking awesome to me. Like, I just think about that sometimes, and I'm like, wow, I'm so freaking lucky to be alive, you know? And I realize that today. Like, I know that I've had probably like 10 or 15 chances in life, you know? Just from overdosing on drugs, I know I've had 10 lives, you know? So it's just, I didn't always used to be like this. I didn't always used to know how to practice, you know, positivity and practice gratitude and reflect on my life and use my life back then as something to help me grow in my life today. Like, I didn't always used to be able to do that. I was really sick in my addiction, and I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel for years. For years, I was actively, you know, ruining my life. And, oh, I know, Xanax is the hardest too, man. Once you get hooked on Xanax, it's like probably one of the hardest drugs to get off of, because it's just, I don't know how to explain it with Xanax. It's just like, is it hard for you to talk about that old lifestyle? You know, it used to be really hard. I used to be really ashamed and I would cry, mostly because I would look back and I would think about how I hurt my son. And then I would also be upset about the things I let myself do in my addiction, because I got to such low points in my addiction that I would use my, body and my looks to get drugs, and that was really embarrassing for me. It was not so much not embarrassing. It was a shameful thing, because I felt shame for allowing myself to get to this point where I let people abuse me. You know what I mean? And so that shame was like really prevalent in my life for like the first year of my recovery, right? And then I started working with my sponsor, and she started teaching me that shame is not healthy. Shame's not going to help me to change anything. The only thing that's going to help me change is to know that those experiences are something that I went through. And listen, guys, I think and I truly believe that I had to go through and I had to do every one of those horrible, shameful, embarrassing acts to learn, so that way I can be the person I am today. So yeah, I used to be really ashamed. I used to really, like, you guys think I cry now? This is nothing. Whenever I was my first year in recovery, I remember when I first got my first year, I was sober 1 year exactly. I went to the treatment center that I graduated from to tell my story. And I remember telling my story, you guys, and just sobbing my eyes out. Sobbing my eyes out, because it was like I was getting it all out of me. Like, yes, I used drugs while I was pregnant. Yes, my son got taken away from me. Yes, I was a junkie whore, like a whore. Like I would fuck dudes for drugs, But it was like, if you guys could understand that, like, I had to do what I had to do to survive. Like, that's just bottom line. I had to survive. And I didn't know how to get out of that vicious cycle. So all I did was what I could do to survive, which, if it meant that I had to, do things I wasn't proud of for dope, then I would do it, And when you're in that, like, vicious cycle of being sick, then using, then copping dope, being sick, then using, then copping dope, being sick, then using, then copping. When you're in that cycle, it's like you can't see anything else but that. You know what I mean? And the only thing that would snap me out of that cycle was having my son taken from me, because it got me to stop thinking about myself and how I felt for long enough to think about the life that I was ruining. My baby, to think about someone else other than myself. And so when I was able to think about my son and not myself for like 5 minutes, I snapped out of it, and I was like, I'm ruining my son's life, and he's not even a year old, and I'm not being the mom that I know I can be. My parents raised me right, you guys. I have awesome parents. They're still married to this day. They're just amazing people. And so I knew my potential. Like, I knew that I could be a bomb-ass mom. I know that I'm smart. I know that I'm charismatic. I know that I have an amazing personality. I know that I'm a beautiful person inside and out, So having my son taken from me, like, made me pause and made me really open up and look around me and realize, like, yo, I think because, like, me and my husband had a lot of help at the end. We had his mom, like, right there, like, taking care of my son and helping with my son, that I couldn't see how bad it was, because my mother-in-law was, like, kind of helping carry some of the weight of being a mom. She was watch my son for me a lot, you know? And so the last, like, year, I didn't realize, like, how awful our life really was, because I had so much help, you know, at the end, because I had just had my son. You know, before that, I didn't have anywhere to live, but because I had my baby, you know, my mother-in-law allowed me and my husband to come live here with her. Okay, so I was very, very blessed that my mother-in-law, you know, opened up her heart, not to me, but because I had a son, I had her grandson, because otherwise, me, you know, I was out on the streets. And then, what's up, kid? You want to come say hi to everybody? Yeah, what's wrong? Or I have a head cold or something, you guys. Like, my head hurts so bad. My nose won't stop running. My throat hurts. I feel like I'm getting a fever. My eyes are burning. Okay. It just, it sucks. But anyway, I just wanted to talk to some of you guys I know that are struggling in active addiction right now, because I just want you to know, like, you're not alone. And if you could snap out of it for long enough to just realize, like, look around you right now. If you're in active addiction, stop right now and look around you. Like, who's really there for you? What do you have? Like, is this benefiting you? Is this addiction helping you? Like, if you could snap out of it long enough to reach out to me, email me, or send me a DM on Instagram, I will help you find treatment, you guys. Like, for free. Like, I'm not charging people money to talk to me. You don't have to pay a fee. If you need help and you're willing to go somewhere, if you'll text me on my email or my Instagram or my Twitter, no, Nate, then I will help you. All you have to do is reach out. Bottom line. Okay, so also I've got good news. I don't know if I've told you guys this, but June 8th is an event that me and my friend Andrew and my friend Rory are Andrew has created the event, and he's been doing it for a year, 2 years, and it's called the Blameless Children. And what it is it's an event for addicts, either if you're in active addiction or recovering, it doesn't matter, to come hang out with us and have food and drink and fellowship. And we're going to have speakers, we're going to have entertainment, and it's in Versailles, Kentucky, on Hope Street at this church. I think it's like St. John's or something like that. But we're going to have, like I said, food, drink, fellowship, entertainment, speakers, like recovering addicts telling their story. I'm going to be there. I'm going to tell my story. Andrew's going to tell his story. Rory's going to tell his story. There's going to be a whole bunch of us there, and that we're all going to share our experience, strength, and hope. Nate, I'm not playing Nintendo. I'm on a video right now. So if you guys would think that that would be something that you would like to come to, you know, hit me up and let me know. It's in Kentucky, so I'll be there. It's going to be so much fun, and I love Andrew. That's another thing. If any of you guys don't feel comfortable reaching out to me and you need help, all you have to do is say, hey, Nicole, I need help, but can I get a guy to talk to? If you're a dude and you want a guy, just let me know, and I'll give you Andrew's number, okay? Because here's the deal. I'm happily married. I love my husband. I'm not, like, and I do know that sometimes guys feel more comfortable reaching out to men. So I have plenty of men friends that will help you and get you in the help that you need if you feel more comfortable with that, and I will give you their number, you know. But if you do get a hold of me, it's straight up just like legit. I'm just giving you the resources and connections so you can get the help that you need. So anyway, my channel's growing. I really appreciate everybody who shares my videos and lets people know that I'm, you know, going on a live and stuff like that. I'm working really hard to just get to grow it more, you know, because I don't want I want to be able to like do more things on my channel, and I want to be able to offer more, you know, offer more support to you guys on my channel. But when it gets to 1,000, then hopefully I'll be able to monetize my channel and put ads on my videos, so that way I can make a little bit of money. So that way we can do more cool stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I hope you guys are benefiting from the live streams that I do and able to like interact with other people who are, you know, in the same position that you are. That's why I do live streams every day, because it's cool to watch a video and everything, but it really does help when you can interact with other people. So I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm going to have a meeting tomorrow on Hangouts at noon. So if you want to be added to the Hangouts, just message me on my Gmail or on my email and send me your Gmail account so I can add you. All right, guys, I'll talk to y'all later.